But it's the Saturday headlines in our second intermission. Elliotte, let's start in Nashville.
Yes, Ryan O'Reilly, when he signed with the Predators before last season, Ron, he signed a 4-year deal. There was no protection in there, trade or no movement clause, nothing like that. And there's been some speculation this year, and I think the Predators have been called about O'Reilly, and the respect that he has across the league is so high, people want to know if he could be available. And here's what I understand the Predators are telling teams. They are saying he may not have protection language in his contract, but he is being treated as if he has a no-move clause. I think the Predators' preference is to keep him because they want him to win, especially when they start to put the pieces back together at the end of this year. And also, they see him as a leader on and off the ice. However, they are going to at least consider it under two conditions. Number one, the offer has got to be something that really excites them. It really has to be a great offer. And number two, it has to be something O'Reilly would agree to. And as far as I can tell at this point in time, I don't believe O'Reilly has indicated in any way, shape, or form he is looking to move. So with O'Reilly, it's A, it's something that really has to excite Nashville, and B, it would have to be something that he would be comfortable with if it gets to that point. A couple other things today. Seattle entered the game in Buffalo today, a huge win, 6-2 over the Sabres. They had lost 9 of their past 11. The team's CEO, Todd Leiweke, made a bit of a surprise trip to Buffalo today. He was at the game, and people started to wonder what exactly is up here. His presence was noted. It's not normal for him to be on the road, but he was at that game today as the Kraken rallied from down 2-0 to beat the Sabres 6-2. Vancouver at Toronto, a lot of noise around the Canucks. Basically, the thing I can tell you this week is that one of the things the Canucks have indicated with both Pettersson and Miller is they're not shutting off interest from the Western Conference. Teams from the West who have reached out have not been told no, that they would be unwilling to deal any particular player to any of those destinations. But of course, still unsure of how to handicap, Ron, how this will go.
Hey, and just back to Buffalo for a second. You and Kyle, a great chat on 32 Thoughts, the podcast, latest installment on Dylan Cousins. So I highly recommend that. We want to celebrate Al McNeil and commiserate with Los Angeles, Elliotte.
Yes, so Al McNeil passed away this week at the age of 89, beloved figure in the Flames organization. And one of the things about Al McNeil was up until November, the day after every Flames game, he submitted a handwritten report, a ranking of every player on the roster. And in the top right of your screen was the guide. It was a ranking system from 0 to 2. This is an example of the game in Nashville last year against the Predators. He ranked the players, and then he would rank who the best left winger, center, right winger, and defenseman were. And on this night, Lindholm, Zari, and Sharangovich were his top forwards, and Noah Hanifin was the top defenseman. It was only until November of this past year, Ron, where Al McNeil couldn't do that on a handwritten basis every day. The organization loved him, and for good reason. And you mentioned the Kings, thought it was a great gesture last night by the Jets to wear the fire department decals on their helmet along with the Kings. Obviously, everyone thinking about Southern California, the Kings and their great fans, everybody there. The Kings have set up a link to make sure if you donate, the money goes to the right place. It's at the bottom of your screen. Wishing all the best to the great hockey fans and everybody else in the Los Angeles area.